Caroline Potter, her happiest memories are associated with food, from cooking cinnamon rolls in the kitchen with her dad to eating pizza on the couch with her husband. In fact, Caroline says that life was celebrated around the table until the one day in college when her life took an unexpected turn.
Caroline Potter's life was changed forever when she was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes in college. As she researched her condition, Caroline realized she was dealing with an autoimmune disease. Now a nutritional therapy practitioner, Caroline learned that by cutting out all refined sugar and gluten, she could reduce her insulin use. In her cookbook, All-American Paleo Table, Caroline swaps out unhealthy ingredients to recreate many of her family holiday favorites.
Caroline Potter joins us now with some holiday recipes that will keep your family healthy, but also happy. Welcome, Caroline, to the 700 Club. Before we start cooking, talk a little bit about how this whole thing happened in your life, because it was quite a shock to you to find out that you had diabetes. You were in college, and what happened?
I was diagnosed when I was 20. I was a junior in college, and it pretty much turned my life upside down. Yeah. And I've always loved to eat. I've always loved food.
It's the American way.
Food is really fun. You know, it's just so central to everything we do. And just a lot of childhood memories associated with my favorite foods, and that's really, when I changed the way I ate, I still wanted to be able to enjoy all those foods, and so that's really what led me to writing my cookbook.
So talk a little bit about changing the way that you ate, because that had to be a process for you. I mean, you don't just go, oh, you know, I've got to change things up here, because we do love the things we eat, and as I just mentioned, some of those things were great traditions for you. So how did you have to change your diet?
Well, I eliminated all grains, gluten, refined sugar, and I just cut them out. And I really, honestly, I immediately felt so much better. And I think when you feel so much better, I really just jumped right into it, and I've kind of never looked back. So, you know, for someone really with a health struggle, when you see that immediately,
changes the way you feel.
It does. And so, you know, I really wanted to be healthy for my family, for my husband, for my friends, and I live a great life, and I feel great.
And that's the wonderful thing about the book that you've written, because so much in America does happen around the table, around food. And I know in the beginning that was one of your concerns, was how am I going to have a fun, normal life like everybody else and still eat the things I need to eat? How did that spur you on to create recipes and do your cookbook and all of that?
Well, it kind of started with my wedding, to be honest. I just, you know, on your special big day, you want to be that normal girl, and that's really what I wanted. I wanted to be able to cut a wedding cake with my husband and, you know, have that memory. And so my aunt actually made the wedding cake. We kind of created the recipe, and you can find it in my cookbook. It's delicious. It's got layers of lemon curd and berries, and so
what's not to like, right?
I know, it's so delicious, and people just said, oh, this doesn't have grains in it, this doesn't have gluten, like, what's in it? And everyone just loved it, and so that's the recipe that started my blog.
You have such creative ideas that some of us, it's not that we don't know about the foods, it's that we don't know how to use them creatively. Let's talk about some of the things we're going to make today, starting with, you've got cauliflower that's been cooked here. Yes,
so this is steamed cauliflower, and we're pretty much going to turn it into mashed potatoes. And my husband actually claims that these are the best mashed potatoes he's ever had. So,
wow.
And then we're going to add some browned butter.
Okay, am I putting these in here?
Yes,
okay, what is
so that
this?
is sage. We're just going to add some sage to that.
That's awesome.
And then a little bit of garlic.
Love garlic too. Oh, I'll smell like this all day.
And then a little bit of salt.
Awesome.
And so we'll just give that a stir. And I love browned butter, especially during the holidays. It makes your kitchen smell so great. What's not to love about it?
It smells so great right now.
So we're just going to add that in to here.
I'm going to turn this off here.
Yes.
Pour this. Ooh, look at that. Can y'all see that? Probably not, but let's get that last garlic in there.
All the garlic. I love garlic.
I do too.
And then we're going to add a little bit of cream, or you can also use coconut milk, depending on what you need to eat.
What your preference is, or your.
And then we're just going to give it a quick puree.
Okay.
And it pretty much turns into, it's very light and very creamy. So if you've ever had mashed potatoes, and sometimes they feel a little bit heavy, this is just so light and creamy, and it's really just delicious.
Okay.
And it's great at the holidays with any type of meat you're serving.
Look at this. Can I just lift some of this up here?
Yes, go for it, please.
Look
it smells
at this.
Delicious.
Oh, I'm going to taste this, because I can. Oh, that is delicious.
Is it delicious?
Wow, I wasn't expecting it. I expected it to be more cauliflower-like.
Yeah, it's really not. You know, I never really liked cauliflower, but I absolutely love this. So if you're one of those people that you don't really like cauliflower, give it a try. You might like it.
Yeah, even if you do like cauliflower, it's a great recipe for it. Okay, here you have some dressing.
Yes, so here we have stuffing, and I home make the bread.
Stuffing.
Yes, it's delicious. So I make the bread. It's grain-free and nut-free, and that's really great because I know a lot of people have nut allergies.
Yes.
And so the bread's made with coconut flour. And then we just blend it up with some sausage, some mushrooms, apples, all those really good rosemary, thyme, all the fresh herbs. I love cooking with fresh herbs.
So you get all the benefits of
Yes, so it's delicious.
This looks amazing. But
yes,
then
vegetables
I like
are fun,
sprouts,
right?
So, yes.
These are so much fun. So they're just roasted Brussels sprouts, and that really gets them crispy. I love roasting vegetables. It just gives a great texture. And then you have some balsamic glaze and some pancetta. So a little bit of sweet and salty with your vegetables.
That looks fabulous. Let's move down here because you have dessert in your cookbook.
Yes, I love dessert.
Now, when someone thinks of insulin issues, they think of not having dessert. But you really have created some wonderful things here.
Yes, so these are homemade peppermint truffles. And they're inspired by my favorite candy growing up. My dad used to always let us have one every once in a while. And so I make homemade chocolate. It's sweetened with raw honey. So you're using really good sweeteners. And then the inside is very creamy and pepperminty, and it's made with coconut butter.
Yum. Awesome. And this is beautiful. Tell us about this.
Yes. So this is a gingerbread cake. It has a maple caramel glaze, and then you can either use whipped cream or whipped coconut cream to top it off. And that's really inspired just by gingerbread. And I just love the smell, and it's made with coconut flour and chestnut flour, so you really get that spiced flavor to it, and it's delicious.
You know, all of these are in your beautiful book, which I'm not sure where we're going to get a picture. Well, you know what? We're going to do this. How about that? All of these recipes we've talked about are in Caroline Potter's book. It's called the All-American Paleo Table. It's available wherever books are sold. And, you know, I have heard it said that though people who have an issue with diabetes eat like this to be healthy, really this is the healthy way for all of us to eat, isn't it?
Yes, it really is. I think that these recipes are great for anyone. There's even a chapter in there kind of all inspired by my childhood favorites.
Yes.
So great for children just because it's great for them to eat healthy too.
And you know, one of the great things about this cookbook by Caroline is that there are some things in here that you may not have cooked with before, and she tells you how to do that and how to do it successfully. So get a hold of this if you'd like to be healthy, help your family to be healthy. It's a beautiful book, and you took all the pictures, right?
I did. I love photography.
Amazing,
I love it.
It's beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
I collect cookbooks. You're going to want this in your collection, so get a hold of it. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you so much.
So good to have you here.